So I'll try to show you here what I'm hearing and understanding. The last video that I put out the press release where Trump sat down with 8 Arab countries. This is a post that I saw this morning from Bubba News. Donald Trump convened a meeting on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, bringing together leaders from 8 Arab and Islamic countries. But they're keeping the meeting very quiet, very hush-hush. Turkish President Erdogan sat right next to Trump during his Gaza multilateral meeting with leaders of Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, Indonesia, Pakistan. The session focused on ending the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza, including proposals for a permanent ceasefire, hostage release, Israel military withdrawal, post-war governance without Hamas involvement, regional peacekeeping forces, and funding for Gaza reconstruction. Trump described this as his most important meeting of the day, emphasizing urgency to stop the war and bring the hostages back. The meeting lasted about an hour, after which Trump waved to supporters without further comment, while his special envoy, Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, signaled optimism with a thumbs up. And Erdogan says, very fruitful. A reporter asked him, "You were with Donald Trump at the Gaza summit. Do you expect a concrete step from here for peace for the innocent civilians here?" To the question, he said the final declaration will be announced a little later, with the statements made by both Trump and some guy from Qatar. The final statement of tonight's meeting will emerge soon, as we have finished a very productive and beautiful meeting.
Trump'ın somut bir önerisi oldu mu Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım? Trump'ın somut bir önerisi oldu mu veya talebi?
Ben memnunum. Sonucu da hayır olsun.
I've been digging through the news all morning looking for something about this, but Trump is supposed to host Turkey's Erdogan at the White House tomorrow, September 25th. Now, what I find interesting about this is that, they have a behind-the-scenes meeting that Israel is not included in. There's 8 Muslim countries, and, Trump's been working on the Abraham Accords. But then he's having a meeting with Turkish Erdogan tomorrow, and what I find most interesting about that is that this is one of the countries that's in the Gog-Magog attack. When Israel doesn't submit to two-state solution declarations and things like that, you've got, in Ezekiel 38:39, you've got Turkey, you've got Russia, Iran, and others that come in to try to destroy Israel. And meanwhile, this meeting with Trump is about selling them weapons. Here's something that I found in a Middle East newspaper sort of thing. U.S. President Donald Trump assured Muslim leaders that he would prevent Israel from annexing the occupied West Bank, according to 6 people familiar with the discussions. I'm continually checking for news about this. This says that Donald Trump has presented Middle East leaders with a 21-point plan for peace in the region. You go down to the middle under me, it says, "We presented what we called a Trump 21-point plan for peace in the Middle East. I think it addresses Israeli concerns as well as concerns of neighbors in the region." You go down to the bottom, and it says, "We're hopeful, I might say, even confident, that in the coming days we'll be able to announce some sort of breakthrough." This article here is from Israel National News, and it says a similar thing to the other one that I just showed you. At the bottom here it says, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet with President Trump in Washington on Monday to discuss the outline further. This article had a really interesting title under the Google results. It said that, a plan for Islamic nations to run Gaza, that is a dividing of Israel. So keep an eye out on this. We're on the cusp of major announcements. So I don't understand exactly what's happening with the 23rd, 24th, but we have things happening right now that look like the confirmation of the covenant. Jerusalem Post says return of the hostages and an Islamic government inside Trump's new Gaza plan. Lebanese report. Talking about a 20-day ceasefire, return a hostage, and I want to read up more about this Islamic nations running Gaza part, because that is dividing Israel. That is giving part of Israel to Islamic control. So until we have a little better understanding of what this looks like, I'm just going to leave it at that, because clearly there's things moving in the background. If I have further understanding about the 23rd, 24th, then I'll update you. But as of right now, I'm still watching. I'm still waiting. It's still the 24th here, so, it is what it is. And then if we pass it, then, I'll eat my humble pie and we'll talk about it.